What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei, a place to be chilling, Mr. A&E. Bad to give you guys an NXT Takeover Portland review. It's coming at you guys a little bit late. I was a little bit behind schedule because with me, All-Star Weekend is the thing that I have done every year since 2002. And I've watched it, I've supported it, and me being, once again, a huge basketball fan, it's hard for me to choose between basketball and wrestling sometimes, but the thing was, I had the All-Star Game on, and then I watched NXT Takeover, and then the All-Star Game was incredible this year. You know, I didn't get a chance to, get you guys an NXT review out on Monday. So, hopefully get it to you guys out today. So, doing all my wrestling here today. So, Takeover Portland, I have to say, from top to bottom, this was an amazing show as well. It's the first Takeover we had on Sunday. I expected to have it on Saturday, but this is the first Takeover to have it on Sunday, which also threw a wrench in the plans of why this is coming up late as well. So, to Q Flow out there who wanted to do it with me, I do apologize, but I wanted to get this stuff done, because he wanted to join on the review, but we just couldn't get our schedules together to do it. So, but it's not going to be like that too much up in the future. So, Takeover starts off with the North American Championship. Dominic Dijakovic taking on Keith Lee, who's a champion, and I have to say this was a fantastic opener. These big men put it on there. In the first minute, Keith Lee pulls out a standing Hurricane Rana on Dominic Dijakovic. Dominic Dijakovic pulls out a corkscrew moonsault off the top rope. Then he tries to go outside and does his backflip kind of moonsault, and Keith Lee kind of catches him, and then tosses him on the apron. It was all good kind of stuff here. So as they're wrestling, they go to the outside, and Keith Lee hushes the crowd down, gives Dominic Dijakovic the bear claw slaps right across the chest, and God, they're loud. But then Dijakovic gets out of it, super kicks Keith Lee, and he falls right into one of their announcers' chairs. So he's sitting in the announcer's chair between two of the announce tables. Dominic Dijakovic, I swear to God, he goes in there, does a springboard plancha off the top rope, all the way over to Keith Lee in the chair. Thank God Keith Lee called him, and they got his, because one margin of error could have been the end of this man's career, because he could have hit either announce table, his neck could have hit something like that, he could have hit anything because how tall he is and how big he is doing that, but it was just a sight to see. They go back in there, he tries to go for a feast your eyes on the top rope, but Keith Lee is just a little bit too heavy because he's like a avalanche Death Valley driver. He goes and gets a Spanish fly to Keith Lee from the top rope, goes for the pinfall, but then Keith Lee kicks out, and immediately afterwards tries to go for the feast eyes again. Oh no, he was trying to go for a choke slam. No, excuse me. He tried to go feast eyes again. He gets out. Keith Lee tries to go for like a choke slam. Dominic Dijakovic does a backflip out of that, goes for his choke slam. Keith Lee does a sloppy backflip, but does it outside of that. But then Keith Lee hits it for a spirit bomb, but Dominic Dijakovic, he rolls through, he's holding the back of his head like, come on, like, he can get in that rage when they do in the indies, and then he hits another spirit bomb and he kicks out. The crowd is already into this joint. I'm like, what's about to happen? Are they really about to put this thing on Dijakovic? What's going to go on? But then Keith Lee hits the what is he called now? He don't call it the jackhammer no more. I forgot what he calls his finish. It's his finisher now. But he hits that on Dijakovic, and the match is over. Great match by these two. Their sportsmanship at the end. Keith Lee picks up Dijakovic, gives a handshake, and it was great. It really was great. I have to say that has been one of the best openers I have seen in NXT history. That really is going to go up there, because it was phenomenal. It really was phenomenal. Next up was a street fight between Tegan Knox and Dakota Kai. She updated her jersey from to saying King now. So I was like, I never seen Dakota Kai with this kind of look though. I'm never kind of liking it. They go right at it. They bring out the trash cans. They bring out the kendo sticks, even a cricket bat at one point, and they're just like a lot of back and forth action here. there's a time where outside, Tegan Knox takes a laptop and hits Dakota Kai right in the knee on the laptop, gives her a German suplex onto a trash can, which looked just sick, honestly. And then there's a time where Tegan Knox was on the top rope and Dakota Kai was up there, and she gives like a choke slam kind of off the top rope, and she kind of lifts Dakota up and then throws her back first on the mat. I was like, that just looked kind of sick. And then Tegan Knox goes underneath the ring. It takes out this chain, the shiniest, takes out the shiniest ass chain I ever seen. She takes the wraps around her hand and starts beating at Dakota Kai's knee with this chain. And I'm like, oh, these women are just vicious. By the way, there's still a table set up outside, so I'm like, this match is not gonna be over yet. There's a callback because she hits the shiniest wizard on Dakota Kai. I'm like, no, we gotta go back to that table spot. So she goes outside, gets the table, brings it in the ring, and she puts Dakota Kai. After she Pillmanizes her leg, she's gonna Pillmanize Dakota Kai's neck while she's on the table, and while she's on the top rope, Raquel Gonzalez from the Mae Young Classic, because everybody was chanting, "Who are you?" Because obviously, it was kind of like we don't really know who she is. And it took me a while. At first, I was like, "Dang, Tyra, that's not Victoria." At first, but I was like, "Oh, okay, I see who it is now." So she takes Dakota Kai off the table and beats down Tegan Knox on top rope. Then does a chokeslam to Tegan Knox. I'm telling you, she lifts this woman. She don't just throw her back and she kind of like falls into the table. No, you can tell she picks her up and launches her over to the table, and she clips the table, and the table doesn't break. It looked painful. It looked sick, and everybody was just sitting there trying to take all that in. Dakota Kai goes over in shock and then pins Tegan Knox for the win. So obviously, this rivalry is not over just yet, but Dakota Kai looks surprised by Raquel Gonzalez helping her out. She doesn't know anything about this anything, so we'll probably get a follow-up for that on NXT later on this Wednesday. Next up, we have Finn Balor taking on Johnny Gargano in a grudge match. Good matchup by these two. This is the most aggressive I've seen Finn Balor in a long time in this matchup, and it made it work. Johnny Gargano outside is teasing whether he should put Balor on the table, and then he doesn't, and he gonna pay for it. He does go and get revenge and get a shotgun dropkick to Finn Balor on the outside, which he flies back into the guardrail. Which, if you remember, when Finn Balor first attacked Gargano, he did that to Gargano as well. But then Finn Balor gets turns the tables and gives a front suplex to Johnny Gargano on the announce table, clears off the other two announce tables, runs across the announce table and gives Gargano a shotgun drop kick, and he falls off the announce table right into the guardrail. Sick looking spot. Very sick looking spot. We go back in there. There's so much action going on between two. Especially like when they was both fighting on the apron, and they both went for that little side kick, and then Johnny Gargano does a leap over DDT to Finn Balor, but Finn Balor ends up as he gets into Gargano escape. He does get him out of it. Double stomps Gargano right there in the chest. Like, he stomps the shit out of Gargano, and then he picks up a 1916, plants him on his head, and Gargano loses. Finn Balor wins, and Finn Balor looks very aggressive here. You have to think that Balor is going to be in the championship picture. You're going to have to think that Balor's going to be in the championship picture right after this, because the way that they have him looking in NXT now, just how vicious he is, I'm like, he has to probably come back for that NXT championship. Next up is for the NXT Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley taking on Bianca Belair. We know Charlotte is going to be watching, but we didn't really see her. Bianca Belair comes out with the Black History Month, gear and the cape. It looked really, really sexy, really nice in there. Represent the culture, boo. Represent the culture. And it's just black. I think her cape was saying Black History Future. Like, she gonna be the future of it. Well, she already is. Because she made my count now. But the match is good. I would say, out of all these great matches, because to me, this was a really good match. It's just that, out of everything else, this is probably, like, if I had to rank them, this will probably be the lowest on the rank. That's not saying that this match is bad. That's just showing you how good everything is on this show. Something has to come last, and this will probably be this one. only because it could use a little bit more heat in the matchup. That's probably what it was. But no, the action was great in the matchup. Bianca Belair puts Rhea Ripley on the top rope, and then Rhea slaps her. She's like, "Oh no, you didn't." She slaps Rhea. Then they have a slapping contest, but then Bianca takes the whip and whips Rhea Ripley. And I was like, "Oh, that was hot." And she's selling it. Then she goes and gives her a gorilla press slam. Goes for her springboard moonsault, but Rhea gets the knees up. As Rhea is going, Bianca launches her over the top rope to the point where I was just like, "Oh my God, how's this going to end?" And she literally like, "Oh God, thank God she ain't break nothing or hurt her ankles or anything," because that shit, stuff like that is how you get hurt in the business. I'll tell you, that's just how you get hurt. But she didn't. It didn't happen for her, so that's cool. But then Bianca Belair is like, no, I gotta give it all. She goes and runs and does a top rope suicida, and she like jumps over the ropes, almost clipping it, and then Rhea's there to catch her. So it made it look like it's kind of like when Sasha be jumping over, like going over the top. I'm like, you don't get enough air. Now, granted, Bianca Belair got more bunnies than Sasha do, so I was like, maybe this is her first time doing it in front of everybody. She's like, trying to get some wind underneath her. However, I think when she keeps doing it in the future, she'll be a lot better at it. She comes in and probably put Rhea Ripley in there, but Rhea's not done yet. They're on Bianca's on the top rope on the other side. Rhea gets underneath, takes her arm and pulls her down and hits her heel on the top turnbuckle, then hits the riptide, and then Rhea Ripley. Oh, I forgot to say that Rhea Ripley does put her in her reverse Texas Cloverleaf and starts spanking Bianca's ass, and I'm just like, okay, that's the way to get. Yeah, it's just the way to get paid, by spanking the ass. But okay, but then she hits the riptide and wins the matchup clean. I thought Shaw was going to get involved, but she doesn't. She wins the matchup clean, and she's celebrating. Shaw comes out of nowhere and attacks Rhea Ripley and says, "You want an answer? I'll see you at WrestleMania." So it's official. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Then gives her a natural selection. And then, this is interesting, as she goes to the outside of the ring, she sees Bianca Belair get up, but she just tosses Bianca Belair into the steel steps. So that clearly is not going to be done yet. Now, here's the thing. I feel two ways, because I want my girl Bianca Belair to get some recognition, and I would let her have her WrestleMania moment. But however, Charlotte has been that triple threat woman for a very long time. She has been all these multi-woman matches at WrestleMania. She's only had one singles match, and that's with Asuka at WrestleMania 34. Everything else that Charlotte has been in when it comes to WrestleManias, WrestleMania 32, she was a triple threat match. WrestleMania 33, she was in a fatal four-way match. WrestleMania 35, she was in a triple threat match. So I'm just like, all these WrestleManias that Charlotte has been in, they all been multi-woman matches, and I'm like, she can deserve a one-on-one matchup. But then again, you're like, Bianca Belair, she deserves some recognition too. So what I think may happen is Bianca Belair and Charlotte may get their blow-off match off on NXT or something like that, because it may be Rhea Ripley screws her over and Bianca gets her heat back by getting the win over Charlotte, because Charlotte has been kind of like dominating Bianca when it comes to the mic and when it comes to the attacks. So maybe she'll get her win that way. I don't know how they're going to plan it. I don't know if they really want to do Bianca Belair triple threat match. Maybe it goes about how the crowd going to respond. Right now, I kind of want to see Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley like one-on-one, but I won't be pissed if it's a triple threat. But I'm like, damn, Charlotte don't get no singles matches, and which a lot of these times, because see, that's also a thing where everybody got tossed, everybody on the roster into WrestleMania. It don't work like that. Sometimes you just get it, sometimes you just don't. And I think, with obviously probably Shannon going to Becky. I don't know what's going to happen for Bayley. Maybe for Sasha or Naomi, I'm not sure. Or, NXT Rhea, something like that. I don't know. So we just going to have to probably figure out what's going to happen with them. But sometimes everybody can't make the WrestleMania card. That's just the way it is. Next up is for the Tag Team Championships. NXT Tag Team Championships, Pete Dunne and Mario, the Broserweights, taking on the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. It was between this and the Keith Lee Dominic Dijakovic match for me of what was the match of the night, because this match was really good. They even try to have the little thing up on the screen of how much fish can Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish. I got it, and they were still trying to get that over. Double ankle locks. When it comes to the match, like back and forth action, well, everything. There's a time in the match where Riddle ran and accidentally gave Dunn a spear, and he tossed out Matt Riddle, and I was like, "Oh, this is it." And they gave was it the high low to Pete Dunne, and I forgot. I don't think it's the high low. I forgot what the name of the move was. But Pete Dunne kicks out, and I'm like, okay, they win. They are winning the tag team championships with that. Then Riddle comes back in there, tosses right to the Insecurity by Dunn, and then they pin Bobby Fish with the forgot what movie they used in that match. Like I said, I'm all over the place. Short story, they win the matchup, and they are the new tag team champions. And I figured they're gonna probably hold on to that, because I think whenever they do another Takeover Brooklyn, I think that's when we're going to get Pete Dunne versus Matt Riddle. That'll be a good match. But in the meantime, I like them as tag team champions. I mean, of course, you want a legit team, but NXT don't have that many legit teams going on right now, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool with the results. Main event time: Tommaso Ciampa taking on Adam Cole. This matchup, I have mixed feelings about. And once again, I know I'm going to be in the probably minority about this, but see, this is my thing. I love indie wrestling. I love WWE wrestling. I love storytelling wrestling. I love both things. But when stuff gets excessive, and I'm starting to realize that a lot in these Adam Cole matches, it takes me out a lot. So, each man's trying to get the upper hand on each other in the ring. Then they go to the outside. Ciampa hits drapes him over the barricade, gives a couple running knees, drapes him by the timekeeper's area, gives him another running knee over there, and Adam Cole tries to go for that insecurity thing that he goes for, which was outside the rope, and Ciampa, he's outsmarting Adam Cole throughout the whole thing, but he goes to the outside, and then Adam Cole knocks him down, gives him a wheelbarrow suplex onto the announce table. That sucked. I'm just like, I wouldn't have did that. So Ciampa already got neck problems. So I'm like, well, I wouldn't have done that. And Ciampa, like, he's kind of, yeah, I said that. He's kind of selling the neck throughout the whole matchup. And then we go back in there. He kind of works more on the neck and everything. Then we go back to the outside, and then while we're on the apron, he tries to give Ciampa a Panama Sunrise on the apron, but Ciampa turns to an air raid crash on the apron. By the way, he already did an air raid crash to Adam Cole off the top rope. Now he pulls off stuff on the announcer's table, and then he goes and he gives Adam Cole a powerbomb, but it's a Hogan table. It won't work with you. So then he has to go and give him another powerbomb, and finally puts Adam Cole through the announce table. And now, once again, it's going action crazy back and forth. And then there's one time Adam Cole jumps off the announce table and gives him Panama Sunrise on the outside of the floor. Match over. Not match over. Rolls him back inside. He kicks out. Undisputed Era comes out and tries to distract Ciampa. He tosses Cole on top of him. There's a corkscrew splash on to all of them on the outside. Hits the fairy tale ending. There's no ref. And then the fans start chanting all up to like 15, because this like the first fairy tale ending he hit. He hit 2 of them. Then Gargano comes out, and with a DIY shirt on, I said, "Don't do this. Don't do this." As soon as he came out, I'm like, he's out here for no good. He goes to try to cheer on Ciampa. Why do people try to cheer on their friends instead of just getting the ref back up? I don't get that. They're the ones dominating. Why are you cheering them on? Like, come on, you got this. How about you take yourself over there and get the referee up, wake the referee up to go throw him in the ring to make the count? I hate when babyfaces do that. I hate it because every time they do that, you already know what spot is coming. And then Ciampa goes for the NXT belt, and Gargano snatches away from him. And then he looks out, and he gets hit with the belt. And then Cole just comes over and just pins Ciampa. Out of all the shit Ciampa took this match, the belt is what knocks him out. That's my problem. And Cole wins the matchup. And we see like we got an obvious Gargano Ciampa turn, so Triple H can finally get this rivalry over and done with, and then they're gonna probably do it at WrestleMania Takeover Tampa in the WrestleMania weekend. This is the shit I'm talking about. Ciampa took literally a wheelbarrow suplex on the announce table, a Panama Sunrise on the outside, probably took about 2 of them, I believe, and a couple of last shots, but that's not what kept Ciampa down. It's the belt, and that stuff bothers me sometimes, man. It really does bother me sometimes. Like that's what takes these people down. So good, still a great matchup. The whole event is an A+ for me. I enjoy everything about Takeover, and I can't wait to see what the plans is for Takeover Tampa. So we already got like 2 big matches. I already know we're gonna get Ciampa and Gargano, and we gotta figure out what's going to happen with the NXT title now since Balor won. But you still got NXT Velveteen Dream in the picture, so we don't know. So post your comments down below. How do you guys feel about NXT Takeover Portland? And hit the like button if you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is NC, a place to be. Show Mystery, and Nerd Coalition is out.